So, welcome to part B. And after taking a very short break, let us guys discuss if... Stop. Let us discuss if you guys specifically had any particular plan for this. Are you just going to have a plan for this, or are you just going to sit here and wait for like 2 or 3 hours?
Sit here and wait for like 2 or 3 hours.
Do you have anything planned, or not?
My plan is to have no plan.
Okay. Anyone else that actually have something?
Is there any place to put my steak?
Short rest.
I mean...
I didn't actually take you for a lazy guy.
I guess that
What?
counts. How many times of short rest can you take even a day, by the way? That's actually interests me to know. Up to your
As long as you have hit dice left.
So
as long as you have that, yeah.
Technically, mundane you only have 2 left, and the rest only have...
I have 1 left.
How only 1 left? Oh, right, you're level 4, not level 5. Right. You have 1 left, and then everybody else have 2. No, wait. Everyone else have 1 except from rank up, which have 2, I think, right?
I have 2. Yeah, I have 4.
So, anybody who wants to take the last die roll or another die roll, you're more than welcome to take the last hour of preparation and everything for this particular thing. Oh my god, poor guy. There's a 5.
It's okay. It brought me to max HP anyways.
Okay, Jacollo is going to take
I can do this.
his last die. That will be 11. That's good. Anybody else want to take their die or not?
No.
Okay. That's fine. So, you're waiting a little bit of time, and you're essentially kind of like, again, doing your final preparation with like weapons out and everything, like nothing too crazy because you guys think there's really nothing we could prepare for. We come here to talk, but we'll just be cautious just in case. And essentially, around the middle of the, like a little bit few minutes before midnight, like even like an hour early, you kind of like starting like some kind of like weird howls coming out in the distance, like more of like not normal wolf's howls, but more of like I guess hunting wolf howls. It's kind of different. Let's just say that it's kind of like ghostly wolf howls. I don't know how to explain that, but at around a little bit before midnight, you see this thing like stepping before you. Basically, this is more of like an actual form. It's not like a material, like what it was before. It actually looks more material than it was before, and the wolf is just kind of like sitting there on his on his kind of like backside, and kind of like more sitting and just looks at you, all of you 5.
I'm gonna go up and shake his hand.
You kind of like step forward to him.
And shake his hand. Hold my hand out, waiting for him to shake it.
He basically kind of like looks at you and is kind of like, look, he's a wolf, and he kind of like looks at your hand that's like you put in front of him, and he lets you shake it. He's fine with that. It was like
perfect.
And then he kind of like looks at all of you. So, you all decided to come after all.
Yes. Yes, we did. Also, hello.
Good. Very good. I am, as you probably already heard, but I will remind you again, my name is Astronak, the wolf spirit of these woods. And I...
Hello, I'm Grog. I'm Grognak.
And he kind of like... he kind of like look at you in a second, kind of like cutting him, but it's like, okay, that's fine, I'm okay with that, that's okay. And then he kind of like continues saying, anyway, we're here to meet about and discuss about what's basically you did recently that kind of a little bit upsets me, but I'm pretty sure you are people that are not around here. From what I understand, the people in this village are not really particularly powerful. But I want to understand what you guys are trying to do here, or what are you people are doing here? Why are you all of you are kind of protecting that village? What do you have to gain from it? I want to hear that first before we'll go over what I have to say.
Well, what we gain from it, we basically gain nothing from it except for the fact that we saved some lives.
Love and admiration.
Okay, that's for you. I just don't want to see too much bloodshed. Any more than necessary.
Do you even know what's going on in that village?
Oh, are you going to tell us like they're just like a weird cult of people that, sacrifices each other?
Not something like that.
Something like that. Okay.
I look at Eldlich.
At you and is like, as you probably heard me before, I want to take down this village because they killed my child. One of my most biggest wolves. Like, the prime wolves for like the pack that's running around here in this woods. They just killed him for the sake of killing him. And that's kind of very angers me. I'm pretty sure you understand that. And kind of like
for the sake of it?
For it's like, I'm still a parent. This is my child.
I'm not a parent, so I cannot say that I understand your pain.
But you kind of like look, and I understand that you're trying to take down the village and doing the good thing, but you probably don't really understand what's going inside of it. It's not only just people who killing for fun. There is more things going on in it. You can decide to believe me or not, but this village is corrupted to some degree. And I'm really doing a favor to wiping it off the face of the earth. Not only for my own vengeance.
Just wondering, do you have any other examples of people this village has wronged?
Well, beside of killing my own child, people in this village sometimes, and he looks at the guard here, like he looks at Eldlich specifically, sometimes disappear in an interestingly manner. And he looks at him specifically.
Eldlich, would you like to enlighten us on something?
He kind of like looks at you. I want you to roll for me, what's called perception, I guess? What is a good one for
I'll roll it.
Perception, right? To understand,
Insight?
like, just to like get the basic idea of like, if he's telling truth or not, or everything, like. For your
insight.
Isn't that insight?
Insight.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
right. Sorry.
I'll insight roll. Ooh.
20. Okay, so his look is like, I don't really know what he's talking about, and like, Bobby, you know exactly that, like, you're not exactly sure if like he's lying for the sake of like protecting something for himself. You don't really get what exactly he's trying to achieve by this, but he's clearly lying. There is some weird things going on in this village, and it's like he's not willing to tell why. For a certain reason that you don't really understand because you cannot really get that from his face. He looks like he's a little bit of a panic that you kind of like, he told you that. Like, the wolf spirit told you that. But he's not 100% sure, like, how to handle this because he's like, in one hand, he want to tell you, but like it looks like maybe he want to tell you, but can't. But on the other hand, you may be like actually malicious and not telling you and trying to hide something. So you're not sure about that, but you are 100% sure that he's hiding the truth, and it's like he's not really telling you the truth, and it wasn't really truthful with you from the beginning for everything. That's what you get from it, Bobby.
Do I get something similar from that?
A little bit less.
I rolled a 20. Okay.
I'll whisper to Jacollo about it so he knows that, yes, he's kind of thinking it's a lie, and yes, it's definitely a lie.
Okay, let me check one thing here.
Okay.
Need to check a thing. Okay. I cast Hold Person on him.
Okay. Open up the spell. Choose a human consumed within range. They must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration. What does the DC for this?
14.
He pass.
Fuck.
He's just kind of like, he really just, like, he barely get it. It's like, what are you doing there, laddie? What are you trying to achieve by this? It's like, kind of like, he's moving like a little bit to the side here.
Shit. I wanted that to work.
Wait, hold up. He's moving away from Hollow? Can Hollow try to make a grab on him?
Specifically, let's say, like, Gornak kind of like, Mundane kind of like, moving from Mundane to kill Gornak kind of like moved here, trying to cast Hold Person. Of course, it's like, you know, from 60 feet, but you have to see him. Let's say he's kind of like going here, and you basically, he's like kind of like moving because like he has to move a step because Gornak kind of like cast a spell like around here-ish, and is like, he's now moving from it, basically.
Yeah, because I wanted to paralyze him.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't get an opportunity attack, huh? Dang.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Specifically, only Bobby and Gornak know this now, but like you see Gornak cast specifically a spell around him. Like want to cast a spell on him. You get something is wrong. You like Mundane and Cable don't really know this, but they do understand that Gornak's trying to achieve something and they don't really understand why. Yet.
Alright, well, the solution is simple. I cast Entangle on everyone around in the general area.
Okay.
Oh god.
90 feet, right? So it's 90 feet from you in what way? It's like it's a cube?
20-foot square, it says.
20
foot square.
So basically, 90% that you can cast from you. So it's basically up to here, up to here, up to here. So everybody besides.
I don't want to get them.
Oh, you're not.
Well, the range is 90 feet. So I'm just gonna get. You know what? I'm just gonna get him. Yeah, I'm gonna get the dwarf.
Who you're going to get?
I could choose where the spell happens. And I could just put it off into the corner so that it only hits him.
And who is him?
Dwarf buddy, Eldlich. Yeah, that's his name. The only guy I remember the actual name of.
Okay, so, what does he need to roll for it? Or he doesn't really need to roll for it, anything?
Strength save.
Strength saving throw?
Strength saving throw, which he should be good at, but might as well.
Wow, you succeed. Apparently
Wait, what succeeded, him or me?
You.
Oh, neat. Okay, well, he's restrained now. I don't know what you wanted to do, but he Yep, I don't know what you wanted to do, buddy, but he's restrained now, so have at it.
Is he standing on, or is he on the ground?
Give me a second and I'll just go in to put this on it so you'll remember that he's restrained. He's restrained, no, he's standing. He's just, like, held by the, like, what are called, like, the vines and everything. Like, the weed and vine are, like, holding him. He's not, like, on the ground dead or anything, or, like, you know, like, fall on the face on the ground. He's just, like, restrained, basically.
Alright, it's time to enter interrogation mode.
Oh, okay, Eldlich. So I'll ask you nicely to tell us what's going on. Or things are not going to get pretty. And they punch him in the face.
Punch him in the face. Okay.
I love how you just dropped your gruff voice.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Wait, hold up. Isn't he at 1 HP?
So
still?
basically, you take 1 HP away from him. Got it. Okay.
No, we had short rests in between, so unless he didn't take
so
short
he
rests
got
with
short
us.
rest. Alright.
Okay, so you're trying to be intimidating, by the way?
Yeah.
Intimidation.
Yes. Let's go for it. I have -1 intimidation.
Ooh, that so close. Why is it not flipped? Anyway, 12. He's kind of like he's not really afraid of you that much. He's kind of like, ha, you hit like a girl. I don't know why
Maybe I'm a bit more scary.
Time, but sure.
Mundane,
Can I do intimidation?
Can you entangle him to the ground?
Look, you hit like a girl, and like, what are you trying to get from this? And it's like, I'm not really getting what you're trying to get from this. I told you that, basically, I can't, like, even if I want to tell you, I can't tell you.
Well, this doesn't seem to be going very well.
Well, why can't you tell us?
Are you going to intimidate him as well, or are you trying to use persuasion?
I'm the bad cop, he's the good cop.
Yeah, good cop, bad cop. Get him, boys.
I'm going to try to persuade him. I'm the good cop.
Okay.
Jacollo will do the punches and intimidation, though I have better intimidation. So we should have switched that around. But I'm going to try and persuade him
so
to pop
perfect.
up answers.
Not enough. It's
Not
like, well, that's the idea, laddie. I can't really tell you.
Mundane, I have a question to you. Can you entangle him so he's on the ground?
Wait,
No,
wait,
but I
laying
can
on
make
the
his
ground?
wait,
make his
I have a
armor feel like it's
question.
scorching
I have a
hot.
question. If Gorgnak is the bad cop, is Bobby is the good cop, is Cable is going to be the ugly cop?
Then I'll be the good-looking cop.
Yes.
I have -1 in charisma, so
Anyway. So what are you trying to do
I'm
now?
the ugly. I'm asking Mundane if we can lay Eldlich down on the ground.
We have a grapple thing we can do. We can just do that naturally, right?
Yeah, you can just do that naturally and you have nothing to stand against. Like you can just like use yourself and like let's say Bobby and just like put him to the ground. It's like it's not really a problem. He's held right now. He could fight you, but not really.
I would love for him to.
We're good. We're
And
set.
it's kind of like funny that you guys like kind of like pay attention to him, but you don't pay attention to the wolf spirit. That's kind of hilarious. But regardless, we're moving here now.
Yeah, the wolf is like, the fuck is going on here?
Yes, it's like, huh. And, like you hear him in the background, like mortals are weird.
You have no idea. Okay, so
Alright, well, see, I actually have a good charisma, so what if I try one of these things that these guys
Two
are trying to
morons
do?
we're not able to do. Got it. You're going to try.
Well, you
Yeah.
have to figure out something.
So what are you?
What if I
going to try to do?
perform for him?
What are you?
What if I
going to
do like a
Okay.
dance or something?
What are you going to try to do, Cable? What are you trying to do?
God, 21.
Why performance, though? What are you trying to perform?
He said he's dancing.
He's dancing.
I'm gonna do a little
No,
dance.
Cable, they didn't know. Cable, they didn't know you were so good in dancing.
He's a dancing cop. And it's like you kind of like putting Eldlich on the ground. It's like kind of like looking at Cable dancing. It's like I don't really know what's going on anymore. Is that normal with you people? And he looks like he's like not really scared by you. He's kind of like more confused.
Wait, hold up. I'm going to try and start singing.
now.
What?
I'm going to try and start singing to Cable's dance. I want to see if I ruin it or not.
Performance.
Oh, God.
And your singing is so bad that it's kind of like, stop, stop, please stop.
It's bringing physical pain.
It's working. It's working. It's torture. Everyone starts singing like trash.
It's more of like the wolf himself kind of like starts howling. Kind of like this was like,
Okay.
like, might as well go with it.
Can we get advantage on performing bad?
Disadvantage on performance.
Okay, so how about this?
Wait, disadvantage.
How about this? Since you guys, since you guys are doing so bad,
as a DM, what the hell are you trying to do?
okay, but since you guys are doing so bad, what if I try tricking him into thinking it's good?
All the charisma skills, guys.
Let's see if he thinks that it's good. No, it still doesn't believe you that it's good.
Okay, so I want to make something clear. He's on the ground now, or is he standing?
How much time to
Right
all
now, at
of
this
this
point.
shenanigan? I'm pretty sure it takes a little bit, so I guess like 5 rounds. You have 5 rounds before he's able to move again. You have additional 30 seconds.
Okay, fuck it. I take out my warhammer and punch him with the warhammer.
I'm going to punch him with the warhammer. Yes.
Yes,
Perfect
that's proper
logic.
English. I don't think you
Yeah,
need
no, this
to
is what-
roll
dude, this is
for
what you
it. You just roll damage.
You just gotta look like you're gonna punch him and then smack him with the warhammer when he's not looking at the warhammer.
Okay,
Roll
so
damage.
that's 1d8 plus 2 bludgeoning.
Oh
Okay.
man, brutal.
So, you just hit him in the jaw with it. You kind of like
All
hear
right.
the wolf spirit in the ground, like, you know, Astronax is just saying, I'm just here to kind of understand if you guys are on my side or on their side. I don't know what you're all trying to do here.
We want to get things from him.
All right, now I'm going to ask him a
Right.
question.
I'm not going to
once
get
more.
involved in this.
Wait, what's the roll for it?
What are
I'm
you going to try to
blanking
do?
on it.
What are you going to try to do?
I'm going to ask him, what are your
Performance.
loyalties to the village?
I guess it's persuasion? Because you're going to persuade him to actually talk.
All right.
That's a little bit better. Okay, so roll with it. Just ask him.
All right then. So, what are your loyalties to the village? Why are you, just holding your words? You've insisted that you can't say anything, but what have they really done for you?
Well, let's just say what they will not do to me is quite better.
What do you mean they won't do things? Again, they're getting attacked. They're the ones that are in a lot of trouble here.
They don't.
They're most likely to fail.
Let's just say that some of the people of the village just think it's just business. It's not really hurt them that much. It's just going to be less convenient for them to lose the village.
Less convenient to lose the village.
Can he roll every single turn or not every single turn from the vines? But then
Okay,
again,
I'm
you guys
going-
are holding him down, so I guess he doesn't really get anything regardless.
I'm going to ask him another question.
Okay. Okay, ask away.
So honestly, you're with us. You could be a part of us. You can work with us for a while. You don't have to be with the village anymore.
It's more
You can side with us and we'll be
than you think.
perfectly fine.
It's more complicated than you actually think.
But is it?
It's
You have 4 strong party members here who could have you protected.
I'm not sure that
You
you
can-
are prepared to deal with something like they are. And even this lovely friend wolf of yours, so whatever he is to you right now, even his little skirmish will not deal with them. Just make it a little bit more, like I said, less convenient for them.
Well, here's the thing. I have 2 options I propose, and here's where I'm siding. I side with the wolf. His reasoning seems genuine. He was able to confront us honestly. I trust him in comparison to the village. The village always seemed off to me. So, if you're going to keep sided with the village, that means we'll just take you out here. Or, You can join with us, work with us, help us in fights, continue with us, ditch the village, and call it a day. So, your options are life or death. Which do you choose?
He kind of like thinks about this for a second. Kind of
And I'm going. Should I persuasion check on that question in particular?
No, I think specifically we're kind of like over that because it's more of like his choice, I guess. Because I'm going to roll for his choice. So, regardless of the situation, the spell is going to end. Are you going to let him up, or are you going to kind of like, still hold him down for a second?
We're going to hold him down until he answers a question.
He's just saying one thing before he kind of like decides. He's saying, the thing is that if I will not do what I need to do, and you will, well, if I'm not like specifically help my village or help those people, and essentially they will know that you will all informed about this. They will basically do some horrible things for some of my friends and family. But if you will able to deal with them, that will be no issue. The question is if you're able to deal with them or not. Because they will know that I talked with you. And it's kind of like for...
How will they know?
And it's kind of like for the wolf spirit himself, is like he's just going to say this right now. He's just going to say this. Regardless of what happens here right now, I am not getting involved. He's just not getting involved in this. And he's like, if you guys are going to fight him and kill him, that's fine with his eyes. If he's going to fight and kill you guys, that's also will be fine in his eyes. He doesn't really care. He's getting to attack the village. That's what he cares about. He's going to basically deal with the thing that he's looking for and like get his revenge or just deal with things. For the most part, for the wolf spirit or Astronac, he for the most part don't really care for this, so he's not going to get involved with this regardless of what's going to happen right now. I'm just going to say this at the moment, so people will not ask as well why he didn't really do anything. Because he doesn't really care. For him, it's a win-win regardless. If it's more convenient and it's better to deal with the threat for the long run, and he's going to side with you, that's fine for him. If he's just able to get his vengeance right now, that's also fine for him. But as for your question, Gorgnak, he basically says, well, let's just say that we're able to proc into your mind in the ways that you don't really like.
Breaking into the mind, so magic?
Something like that. I need all of you, like, who is going to try to convince him to basically join your side? Who want to roll the persuasion for this?
I have the best charisma, I think. So should I roll it?
I mean, it's depending on the group. Who's going to talk, like, I guess specifically the one that talk with him the most is Bobby, but it's dependent on the group as a whole.
Do we get advantage if all four want to try and persuade him? Is everyone sided with trying to get him onto our side?
Sure, okay, why not? So he's the only character I actually know the name of.
When it comes to Gorgnak, the thing that he mentioned about them going into the mind and basically, well, propping it, that is a red flag, and I would like to roll something like, I don't know, history and wisdom.
What are you trying to get from this?
If I can piece together,
if he could have his mind tapped into easily.
I don't think it's history. I think it's more of like religion.
Religion, if that reminds me of anything, basically.
I think for your part is religion, because it's more of like what your cleric knowledge is all about, I guess, right?
I as a player, have a general idea of
from your
what might be involved, but I'm scared that
so if that's more what like religion. If it's from your cleric training, which is basic things, it's religion. Yeah, there's different kind of monsters that can do that. It can even be mind flayers, but mostly like actual creatures that will do it. They're like more of like the demonic, devilish kind of creatures, more of like, the fiendish kind. Those kind of creatures. And from what he's describing for you, it's kind of like feels like this village is like under the control of like a evil being of sort, and you don't really know which one. But you kind of like guessing it's kind of like a fiend of sort. You don't really sure. Fiend with psychic abilities.
Yeah, I as a player was the most scared if that was a mind flayer.
That could be an option. Can
Yeah,
also
and
be a
that's
different demon with magical abilities that can just scare, like, check the mind of another person. Maybe with like it could be even like I'm going to say this right now, a succubus even what are they, Evers. It could be a succubus, but a bad succubus that's kind of like every single time kind of like proc into his mind. It can be like an actual demon lord, like an actual strong demon lord that does that. He has the ability to do that. It's not always have to be a mind flayer, but it's more the likely option, right?
it is one of the options. Yes.
Yes. So, are you going to convey that to the entire party or not?
Okay, Eldlich. Is there a mind flayer involved in all of this?
What's a mind flayer? He's generally like you see from
Very intelligent.
he doesn't really understand what a mind flayer is. You do know that it's a creature that can read his mind magically or through other things, but he doesn't really know what a mind flayer is.
Octopus-like, many things on his face. Read minds.
No. If
Very
you
evil.
already kind of like dip into this, no. Not kind of creature like that.
Okay, Bobby, take this.
Do you know what power this mind reading controlling thing has?
Magic.
Is there a particular distance it needs to be from you to be able to use its
Obviously,
power?
when I'm around the proximity of the village, but magic, probably. And if I will not be around for a very long time as well, that also will be a problem. So if I will
Well, I
decide
think
to leave with all of you to save my own life, the people that I care about will still die. I'm already
it's
deep
quite the
into
dilemma.
this anyway, so he kind of like just don't really like he kind of like not really sure he want to like help you, but he's still like he's already neck deep into this, or shows like neck deep into the water into this, so he's kind of like more willing to share information, but not still like sure enough. So yeah.
So the thing is, we do have to go back to the village, but maybe not you in particular. We'll keep you away, make sure your mind does not get tapped into. And if you could give the names of people that we should help save, people who, don't have extremely high loyalty to the village and can come with you, are perfectly away from these evil plans, then we can do that while we also get the other member from our party we left behind.
Do you think they will be able to read our minds?
That's a good question.
The thing is that
well, if they read cables, they're going to be tripping balls.
That's true.
Because we don't know what's ever going in there.
Maybe that's what actually protected you from their mind control to begin with. Maybe Cable is just too stupid or too smart into a way that they don't really understand.
Let's
maybe
go.
He's just have a different mind that is just too weird.
Well, he does keep talking to himself.
Of minds.
Regardless,
he does talk to himself a lot.
Kind of like still asking himself is like, should I kind of like sacrifice my life and they will not like he kind of like thinks to himself like probably that's what you're trying to see, like should I fight them or not? He's not really 100% sure. Regardless of the situation, you didn't really convince him 100% to actually join you yet. So are you going to try to convince him to join you finally, or like with a persuasion check, whatever you're going to try to do, kind of like convince him finally to join you, because he's not really convinced yet.
I still want to know if they can read our minds.
Well,
I don't think we can get that information.
Kind of like,
Probably
I never
not.
asked. I'm not sure they will ever tell something like that to me, or anyone. I will say this, that they were surprised to see different people coming into this small village. Not a whole lot of people even visit this place, because it's mostly not on the map for a very good reason.
Alright. Cable, I think it's time to try and convince him.
Alright, let's do this. Persuasion.
That's gonna be terribly. Actually, not as bad as I thought it would be. And he rolled a... Okay. Okay. Regardless of the situation, if I will come back with you, and they will know to read my mind, and they know that you already know and convinced me, they will basically kill my friends regardless. If I'll try to kill you all, you will kill me probably regardless. My only options are the following. Either join all of you, and basically trying to persuade my friends and family to run before they basically able to catch them with one of your family members, and the rest of us can actually, like, maybe die, but we'll still be able to save them, or we'll be able to actually kill those creatures and actually save them. I don't really have any other option to begin with, if I want to survive. Still, I'm not really 100% sure what you're going to plan for this.
I have a suggestion.
What are you guys going to actually kind of like let him walk or not? Or like you're actually still holding him down?
I'll free him.
I'm not holding him.
Okay. So
he said he's willing to plan with us.
He kind of like moves around and kind of like looks at the wolf's ears and is like, "You are not wrong, but I'm not sure if we'll even able to deal with them." He kind of like looked at him. And Astrograg is like, at the very least, we'll be able maybe to create some chaos if you all want to. Still, your little skirmish and attack kind of dwindled my forces to deal with this in the first place. But maybe it's for the better, because they will not kill for nothing and actually be used, those stupid gnolls. No offense for them, but they're not really intelligent and only care about, well, killing. They will be used to just, well, occupy the problems that you have in your village. He kind of like looks at the Eldlich, and then at all of you.
I have a suggestion.
Let's hear it.
What if Eldlich went MIA?
Missing in action, right? Okay.
That gives the excuse.
He went missing.
Mm-hmm.
He would stay here and maybe plan an assault with you.
That's good work.
A better assault.
Eldlich,
he knows the village inside out.
Eldlich is kind of just going to say this right now. If I'm already neck deep into this and there's no way out, you're dealing with demons. I think. Those kind of creatures, that's what they look to me. Demons, devils, whatever they are. Fiendish creatures that use magic. Evil magic. And they've been controlling this village for a little bit of a while since its creation. And I'm not 100% sure who people they are because, well, they're not really showing their actual form. When they come to us, they come to the guards in their minds, or actually showing their demonic form. They don't want to reveal their actual form. Except for maybe the one person that I know of, that I have a suspicion that it is. You already met her. The head of the village. She's the only one that I suspect that may be connected to this. We don't know. Completely sure. But I believe, if what from I understand, there is basically 4 of them in total that are basically doing this. I'm not 100% sure, but that's kind of what I'm getting from at least the people that have talked to me in my mind, or demons, or whatever they are.
One for each of us.
So first thing.
They also did a very interesting thing for some of the guards. And he kind of like, looks at you, and he kind of like takes his, kind of like, he kind of like peels his face, basically. And now,
Oh.
he kind of like put it down, and kind of like, instead of like what he's wearing right now, he's kind of like wearing kind of like a silverish armor, kind of full silverish armor. He looks like a golem with like red eyes, basically. That's what he looks like right now. So some of us are not really alive anymore. For, actual life. They changed us. And you kind of like hear the mechanic voice from him when he's talking. You kind of like hear kind of like a creak of gears, basically, when he's talking. So his voice kind of like completely changes when he like removed this mask. Unfortunately, I don't have an image for that because I didn't really find something cool for that. But if you really, really want to, just imagine Eldlich the Golden Lord, golden with only 2 eyes, and actually is like actually an antique machine. So basically, Ancient Gear Golem with a combination of Eldlich, if you want to.
Ancient Gear Eldlich.
That's my favorite monster.
Eldlich Gear, okay? Eldlich Gear.
Okay, what should I roll to know what he is? If I even would know that.
I'm not really sure. It's really hard for me to actually to tell you what that is, because it's really, really hard to decide what to roll for. I guess from what you kind of deduce, it's probably the best thing for you to maybe roll Arcana in this particular case, because it looks like a magical being of sort.
Okay, rolling Arcana.
14.
Hey,
Basically looks, from what you're understanding, to be like some sort of golem. You don't really able to deduce more than that. It's a golem that's been enhanced by demonic magic. Or a person that was changed to golem by demonic magic. You're not really 100% sure.
My condolences for what happened to you.
Well, I don't really remember already. I might have a lot of gaps in memories because of this.
Well, we still have to figure out a plan on what exactly to do. We have 3 different goals. So the 4 of us, we only just need to get our Wendell and our other party member out of there and get out of this mess with the village.
Do you
But
have a way
the other 2 have goals.
He kind of ask any of you, do you have a way to contact with your other party member without getting to the village regardless? Or you can't?
I don't.
He's looking at the magic casters. Do you have any kind of a message spell or anything that kind of help you talk with your other party member?
I'm a cleric, I heal stuff.
Fair enough.
I see. I would usually have an animal messenger, but no, I do not. So no.
That's complicate things. At the very least, I hope that you have a way to talk with her, or the other person you have. Yeah, that's her. The Arachna lady. Why do you thought we weren't really surprised to see an Arachna lady in our village? It's something that we're actually used to because we're seeing different kinds of monsters, and some of us are actually monsters. So for us, well, not really that surprising. So normal places and normal villages will actually just basically, well, not really looked at you in a great eye if your party have, well, a demi-human like her or any other kind of creature that is kind of resembles one of the, different animals that are actually half human, half animals. Not dragons though. For example, dragonborns are well welcomed everywhere, but centaurs and creatures like that are not. It's kind of weird. But, normal villages or normal cities will probably not accept her that easily. So that's kind of interesting that you kind of didn't figure that out, but I guess...
So we need to someone to physically go there, at the very least. Maybe not all of us, but possibly all of us. Best chance is Cable. No one can comprehend his mind, so if his mind gets tapped, I'd be surprised if they could get anything out of it, really. So it could be best to send Cable to there and get him to get your friends and get our party members out.
I have to agree.
So basically,
at that point, we've now fulfilled your goal, and now you just want to attack the village.
And it kind of like
we don't have to particularly join in that.
Okay.
We don't have too much going for it, and I don't know if it's dangerous for us to attack.
So, after that kind of like comes to all of you and is like saying, the point for me is trying to get revenge on the people that actually are in charge or actually did this or like wipe the entire village. For me specifically, if you're able to get rid of those demons, it's not only going to be better for you, but you are able to get on those that are going like dealt with killed my son. It's for me, it doesn't really matter for the most part. Whatever you will decide to go with, I will try to help you if I can, as long as you're going to be on my side and deal with this particular situation. However, I would recommend to maybe be a little bit vague with your companion if you're saying that, well, they may be able to read minds and have ears everywhere. You might either A, need to cast some particular spell that will prevent them from actually listening, or be vague with her, that person that you're talking about, and take her maybe out of the zone to talk with her, and then basically land the entire situation. It's basically could not really be super easy as you're actually describing it, but it's a start from what you're saying.
One of the things to first think about is it worth us actually fighting as well?
Fighting who?
Because honestly, I think if we do have our plans all set out, maybe we could win that fight with the help of you. And, we'll be able to take out...
will always be a good thing if those are devilish demons. Devilish demons that are always doing bad and harm to the world. I kind of have...
It'll definitely be good. The one problem is dying. That's one of the fears that
is true.
I think we have to some degree.
I haven't met ever a demon that actually was good, but that's beside the point. The point is that even if you're able to kind of evacuate the village, if you're not going to kill those, I will wipe the village just in order to, well, get my vengeance and at least basically kind of like dwindle their operation. But if you are able to kill them, then by all means, that's better for me and better for you. And I have limits to the help that I can give you. My help is only in the forest, and I'm pretty sure this village is kind of protected by those demons of sorts, if now are you talking about those. So I might be able to give you a little bit of aid, maybe like attacks here and there to distract them, or maybe a charm or so to cast on you, or maybe even, like you looked at mundane, or maybe even some different kind of things. But the point is, I am very limited of what I'm able to do to actually interact with them. The job have to be yours. I will do as much as I can to distract them or prevent them from getting reinforcements and such, and maybe even able to kind of like deal with other things. Maybe giving you a little bit of aid, but not really a big one because I can't. This is still their domain. They're probably protected it from different kind of creatures. If you're saying that they've been running this village for years, it's probably possible they already took some cautionary measures.
Well, I think our party does have to decide if we're just playing to escape or playing to attack. Honestly, I'm willing to go all out, go crazy, probably risk ourselves, and make an attack as well once we get evacuation done. But I don't know about you guys.
I don't want to see bloodshed more than necessary. So wiping out the demons is necessary. Let's do this.
Alright. K-Bolt, mundane.
Yeah.
I don't
yes,
see why
I
not.
agree. I agree. Yes. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
no one's opposed to it, and I agree.
Yep. Yes.
I
Yep.
guess it'll be
Mhm.
good to strategize a
Yep.
way to make attack on the
Uh-huh.
demons.
Yes.
Like Cable, you hear in your head, it's like kind of like, what are you doing? Are you agreeing to something that you don't understand immediately for no reason at all? What the hell are you
What? No.
thinking?
No. I understand it definitely.
Sure you do.
Yes.
Sure you do, little blue. Sure you do.
Frick you.
What?
Oh god, he's talking to himself again. Don't mind that bit.
You do
He
see
agreed to
that
it.
his pendant is kind of glowing when he's talking to himself all the time. And it kind of
I
like,
punched the pendant.
and you kind of like looks like specifically Estronak the wolf spirit. Estronak or Estrodak? I need to double check that again because I always forget.
I'm rolling strength.
Basically, he kind of
That was-
Estronak just kind of like look the moment that like Cable start talking to himself on him, kind of like, I wouldn't say scared, but like he's kind of like looked at him very surprised in a second, and it's kind of like looking at him was like, you're talking to the big red dragon? He kind of like looks at Cable.
I look at him surprised. Wait, he just doesn't have a mental disease?
Wait, what?
Are you supposed to be the herald of the big red dragon?
Okay, I'm rolling something to know if I believe that.
Roll a religion
I'm
check.
simply just
Insights?
not believing that.
Religion check.
Religion.
Yeah, you heard about the big red dragon. You're not really sure about him. He's a very, very ancient god. And his name is Borgul. Like, that's what you kind of like... Because you always thought it's kind of funny and maybe a joke because his name is weird and it's named after a food. But apparently, it's actually real. Like, if this character, like creature or spirit says it's like, he actually believes in this red dragon, it must be actually kind of real. You're not really sure about his power or anything, if he's good or evil, or what his intentions, but you are kind of like believes that he might be real. Kind of like you're a little bit thinking that you think still that K-Mode may be stupid, but you're kind of think that he's maybe a little bit less insane.
No, I'm just convinced he's insane. Nothing
I'm
you
talking
can
about
do can
Jacollo
change that.
or Gorgnak. I'm not
For
talking about
the
you.
Yeah.
for the love of
Jacollo.
Leosis, we're doomed.
Jacollo, don't worry, he's just crazy. Something wrong with him in the brain. Only Nat 20 can convince me otherwise.
Okay, time to roll until we get a nat 20.
Regardless. Okay,
Okay, well,
stop,
okay,
stop.
Stop it!
You got a nat one, now
Okay.
you stop immediately. You get a double nat one in the same one, so stop.
What was his first one?
His first one
His
was...
first one was a 15. Alright, cool, not convinced. You get one each session, alright?
Anyway, the point is that the green big red dragon god is talking now to K-Bolt, and K-Bolt don't really know what to do with him. So it's like Astronak is kind of like really surprised that you're able to talk with Borgul, and is like kind of like looks at Gordak and is just saying, yeah, it's the big red dragon. He's real. Nobody knows if he's good or evil, but he's real. He's a little bit
Gordak
forced
just-
chaos here and there.
Gordon just face palms and for the love of Leosis.
Oh, you're working for that one, that one of the newer ones. He looks at on you, Gordak.
I thought it was rather obvious.
Not for him. He's not really knows your religion that much. He can feel like he's a wolf spirit. He can feel an old, really powerful being of like actual like old deity or so. Like he can feel like something coming from energy from like Cable, but not from you. It's like you're not really sure this energy, and it's like it's a new god. It's not really new for like it's not really something for him. He's just going to say this. I do sense from you like double confliction with your light and dark energies, but nothing really out of the ordinary. More of like in the middle ground. Even though you're working for what I consider to be a good god. That's kind of weird that you have also some darkness inside of you, but it's not my business. Regardless,
don't we all?
We need to basically come up with a plan, I'm pretty sure. Do you have a plan? Or something that you think about that can basically work?
Well, if we do have, something to stop mind control from happening on us, that would be very useful. But otherwise,
You probably have
blindly send in K-bolts.
Probably have if this
Yeah.
if this pendant is protected by the red dragon, oh god, then it might actually be protected a little bit from mind control abilities. You might be able to protect him from that for a little degree.
Oh, you mean that
Probably.
weird pendant, which made him start talking to himself, could actually protect him from mind control?
I mean,
Alright,
like
cool enough.
he looks at you, Bobby. Whatever you choose to believe, regardless, it's made it impossible for you all to read, and you know him for a little bit of a while. Imagine it for creatures that don't really know him to begin with, and enter his mind. That will be a little bit of a mess for them to deal with. At the very least, for like an hour or two, I presume. Then they'll maybe able to, well, sort things out if they decide to enter his brain, of course. We don't really know the extent of what they do, obviously, but for the most part, that's kind of what I deduce. And he kind of like looks at Eldlich for confirmation, and it's kind of like Eldlich kind of like shake his shoulders. He doesn't really know 100% of what their power is, but he kind of like trying to give you as much as he's able to. Which now his name has been turned into Eldlich gear, by the way.
I love that.
Okay, now we're going to change his name. We're going to put his name on the token, just for everybody to be seeing. Eldlich gear. I'm not sure you guys can see that, but everybody else
No, we
can
can't.
see that. Oh, I forgot to show the name. Basically, show name template. Eldlich gear. For anybody at home, this is going to be his name.
Do you have anything that would help with mind control?
Who are you talking to?
The big wolf guy.
Not really. I don't really have the ability. I'm not as strong as you might think I am. I'm very strong in the forest, but this is probably a place that is protected. That's why I amassed an entire army to basically run the place down. But now, well, you cut my army by like 33% with your little skirmish on, like, this little camp that you dealt with. Actually, not 33%, I guess 25%. And like the little ambush that you have and everything. And also you have to understand that, well, again, these demons probably protect their realm for a little bit. So for me, it's not really that possible.
Wait, that was a quarter of your army?
How much gnolls do you think that they have there, basically? You have to
I don't know,
You have to understand that when you attack that place, I shown only a fraction of it because you killed some of them before you actually like went for the offensive. You killed some of them. So basically, you just dealt with your little plan with like 25% of this little camp. And this is the little camp. And this is also after you killed the little ambush and everything. And you have to understand that proportions of I'm just going to say this right now. Proportions of armies back in the day, like it's not as big as like it shows in like Lord of the Rings, kind of like big armies. It's like we're talking about a small village dealing with a small army of gnolls, like a medium-sized army of gnolls. We're not talking about like a river full of gnolls. We're talking about like maybe 1,000 gnolls or so, maybe like few hundreds dealing with like a village of like about 100 people. So like maybe 500 to 600 gnolls dealing with a village of 100 people. So I think that's kind of like the proportions, if you understand what I mean.
Okay, got it.
Damn, we're pretty good. We're only 4 people.
Yeah,
Well,
you
five,
basically kind of
actually.
like, I'm not kidding, you kind of just burned their entire camp. It makes sense. Like, gnolls are not smart creatures.
And we're not smart creatures either, but we're still able to do it. But you know what? You now have a 5-person army of just as dumb people. There you go.
So,
Go ahead, take
basically, I'm
out
just
some
going to say
demons.
this right now to basically kind of like trying to understand. I'm going to say this right now. The proportions of armies, just to like for future reference, are like I probably should say those, but you have to understand that not every battle is going to be thousands of people when I'm saying a big army. Sometimes a big army is just an army of a couple of hundreds. So just to understand, I will be more specific next time. That we'll do something like this if we'll get to something like this in the future. Regardless, I want to basically understand what your overall like idea for a plan is right now. Like, we may be able to kind of like go over it again, but like for the most part, what are your plan for the most part that you're trying to go over? Like, what are you talking? What is your idea?
Return to the village, kill demons.
Yes, but
Well, no,
what
it's
is your
not as
plan
simple as
overall?
that. First things first, we have to do the evacuation of the friends Eldlich has. We need a couple of names. We'll send in Cable at the least.
Because
He'll
it's
go
insane.
in,
Got it.
convince those few, and get Ecclesia and
Ecclesia.
Wendell. I don't know why that was the name that came to my head.
Ecclesia,
I don't know how to
you
do
played
names.
way too many Yu-Gi-Oh today. Janelle, you're talking about her.
Janelle. Why did I say Ecclesia? I don't
You
know.
played too many.
That's
too
a
much Yu-Gi-Oh
Dogmatica
today.
card.
Yeah,
I
you
don't even
played
play
too-
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, you played today
Gonna
on
get
stream
racist.
Yu-Gi-Oh! You played it. You probably seen the name and you thought to yourself, Ecclesia, for a second.
I did it. It was versus Paleo versus a new one.
Regardless,
I think the OCG.
regardless, you seen
Okay.
the name, you thought about
Regardless,
this.
evacuation.
Regardless. Yes.
Regardless.
Evacuation. Get them out. Then we'll rotate back, and that's when we'll start fighting. Any support that you can do to weaken them up will be great, and we'll be going after the demons once we get that little bit of getting people out done.
Okay, so I have an idea for a cover story of some sort. So Cables will run to the village to get, and Gorgnak is doing air quotes, reinforcements.
Okay.
And that's where he'll get Janelli, Mendel, and Eldlich Gear's all friends.
Okay.
As, again doing air quotes, reinforcements.
Okay. Trying to understand this because I'm not really 100% sure what you're trying to do with the reinforcements. Yes, you
Well,
have
that's
What I'm trying to
reinforcements.
do is send.
We're just
is
calling
send-
them reinforcements, but we're just getting them out of there.
Oh, okay.
Cover story.
My ear.
Cover story.
You're trying
Using
to
air
kind
quote.
of like send for reinforcements from like Roy and everything that will come to help you. I get
No,
it.
no. What Gorgnak is presenting is to send K-Bolt to get
Yeah.
Janelli, Mendel, and Eldlich's brother, sister, cousin, friend, whatever, and they'll be our reinforcements.
Of the
Air
army,
quotes. I'm
got
doing
it.
air quotes right now.
Got it. So,
So
one
then
of them will
we can
be a level 4
evacuate
lower.
them.
So one of them, all of them combined will be you get to able to add to your hand a level 4 lower warrior monster. Got it.
Basically, yes.
Okay. So there will be a reinforcement. Okay, that's interesting. I actually I don't know why I thought you're going to call for like reinforcement from
No, that would take too much time.
Yeah, that's why I kind
For
of
them to get there.
So that's kind of weird.
And
Regardless,
I think Cable should do it because he has that that medallion,
yes,
amulet,
and then
whatever,
you're
that
basically just
can
going to
protect him.
attack the demons, or like trying to find them and kill them, or you're going to kind of like let Astronak to kind of like go over the village. What is your idea at the end? Because there still may be innocent people still in the village, basically.
Well, we need our insurance. That's everyone dear to everyone here will survive, so we're going to evacuate them as reinforcements.
Okay.
I don't know if we can evacuate everybody. I think we may have to take a few.
We're only going for Janelli, Mendel, and our dear friends, loved ones. So that's not the entire village.
So sadly, innocents may get taken out, but I think it'll be best to charge with the Knoll army as well.
That is. I want to minimize, because think of it that way.
Bloodshed as much as possible, but there still will be a bloodshed in your eyes.
Yes.
So you're being a neutral,
but also
not a lawful.
No. I'm minimizing the bloodshed. Yes. But I also want to participate in the battle to minimize it even more. If we take away all those people, the village defenses will also dwindle. There'll be less people to defend the village from any attack.
So
it's taking two birds with one stone.
So
or
you're
free,
going to
on that
take
matter.
all of the people that you think are not related to those demons and basically
Well, that's
kill
the thing.
The rest. I think the better thing to do...
It's hard to detect if someone is a demon.
And who knows, maybe
so we
one of Eldlich friends or family could be even a demon as well inside of their own ranks. You don't really know.
Don't post that. Don't post that.
There is a lot of things that you don't really know. But from what I understand for the baseline for the plan, at least for now, which we could go over again in like the next session, or like, you know, work on it more, is basically you want to send, for the very least, for the first phase of the plan, you want to send Cabled in, and he's going to take people out of the village that are connected to Eldlich and everyone that, like, you know, they know. Basically, take them out, serve as your little mini army, so you'll be able to maybe build a little army that will help you take down the village before of the gnolls, or even with the gnolls, and kill those that are, like, actually maybe demons, or, like, trying to at least restrain them, and then deal with the demons themselves. That's what I'm trying to get here, right?
Yes.
That's
I think
basic idea.
With the gnolls is the best idea.
So it still needed a little bit of work, I'm pretty sure. There's still something that you need to discuss with probably Mundane and Cabled, which Mundane unfortunately had to leave because of personal things. Cabled, I'm pretty sure will have his own things to add, but for now, I think this is a good place to end off. You have your basic idea, you kind of like want to basically execute it, and next session we'll just go to execute this plan and see where this is going for. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I guess we'll see you all in the next chapter of the Unfit crew. Bye bye.